I bid you a special welcome to this activity. This is a simple but significant activity this morning. This activity is very special, a very special one for the Ministry of Education. We are indeed overjoyed that His Excellency decided to fulfill his promise during Education Month. Thank you so much, President Ramotar, for enriching our Education Month activities. Could you give him a warm applause? Today is even more special for the awardees because the day has arrived. Today our President came bearing gifts. Earlier I did say that His Excellency is fulfilling his promise. And what was that promise? His Excellency made a promise just after the release of the results of the National Grade 6 Assessment 2013 at the end of June. And he promised that every child in the top 1% would be receiving laptops. Here we are today to receive those. And we are all part of this special presentation exercise. Our theme for Education Month is transforming classrooms for the 21st century. During this month, many activities have been planned and some already executed to achieve that goal. In fact, last Monday, the Ministry launched a massive literacy drive in observance of International Literacy Day. And everyone was asked to give a book and drop everything in the bin. And during that exercise, we saw our President, members of Parliament, schools and civil society participating. And I want to express thanks to all of you. On Monday and Tuesday of this week, many teachers and education officials' minds were transformed by the award-winning USA educator, Mr. Ron Clark. We pledged silently to be more positive and to make a difference in the lives of our children. Today, I publicly pledge on behalf of all teachers, education officials, and the Minister of Education that we will not only transform our classrooms for the 21st century, but we will transform Guyana. There are many more activities during this month, including a visual arts exhibition at the National Library, Georgetown, career fairs, spelling bee competitions, to name a few. As educators, we are aware that in the 21st century, an educated person will be defined as one who could read, write, and also be computer literate. As a result, greater emphasis is being placed on ICT in the classroom. With that in mind, our training teachers at the Sir Porter College of Education are being tutored in the use of ICT. Some have already received laptops. Some have received those were subsidized. And today, we're taking another step. Today, our students are receiving laptops. Congratulations to all of you on your performance at a recently held National Grade 6 Assessment. We look forward to greater performance now that you have laptops. At this moment, I wish to express regrets on behalf of the Chief Education Officer, Mr. Olato Sam, who is at this moment, and I, as we speak. He sends greetings and best wishes to all our students who are recipients here today. He also wishes to express the deepest appreciation to all our parents for your involvement in the education of your children. Thank you everyone for your support. The next item on the program will be remarks by our Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Priya Manichan. She's young, vibrant, and passionate. Could you welcome our Minister?
Thank you very much. That was our Deputy Chief Education Officer, Administration, Ms. Donna Chapman. who has spent many years in this profession, most of her life. So today is a good day for her because this is a result of her work. Your Excellency, Chief Permanent Secretary Delmanet, Deputy Chief Education Officer Development, Ms. Lucy Singh, Ms. Melcita Bobel, Mrs. Evelyn Hamilton, Director of NSERD, Mrs. Jennifer Cumberbatch, and all the other Assistant Chief Education Officer Secondary, Mrs. Leslie Charles. I always get into trouble when I start calling names because the ministry is a team, it's a family, and so we all turn up with everything, and I'm always likely to leave names out. So everybody from the Ministry of Education, good morning. Parents, teachers, students, we welcome you here this morning too. Just so that you know, for me, today is, I could fret about we didn't organize properly, how could we have parents standing? But for me, this is a testimony of how involved families are with students who do well. And so that is a fantastic photograph in your mind forever. Because what happened is we invited a child and two adults, and we saw entire families walking in this morning with grandmother and grandfather and auntie, uncle, everybody. So we apologize to you for standing, but I'm sure you perfectly understand why families would celebrate the successes of their children. To the children here this morning, we are extremely pleased to be honoring you in this way. This is just one small thing that will happen in your life, very small. It's probably going to be significant because it's going to help you to be, it's going to give you the tool to be able to make yourself into someone who will be able to celebrate many successes. And so we wish you all the very best. In the Ministry of Education, we are very, very happy this month to be celebrating and observing Education Month. And you would notice that we've done it with a lot of kick and flair. And that is because education in Guyana is extremely important. It is the priority item of the government. If you look at, the President has said, and we've said as a political party in office, that education is important to the development of our country. But we don't only say it, because it's easy to say that and have a great headline and a couple of claps and be done with that. We actually put our money where our mouth is. And we say education is important, and then the Minister of Finance, sitting with the President and the other people who are financially good and sound, devise ways that we can give a significant chunk of our budget to manifesting this belief we have that education is the only way our nation can develop at its fastest pace if we are to educate our young people and our older people, because we have so many programs running. And so this sector is treated very specially in the sense of our needs. Many of our needs are met and our resources that we ask for are granted. But as you would know, just throwing up a house doesn't make it a home. So getting the resources and putting it in the school does not mean that we're educating our children. We still have a lot of work to do as a team, and that team includes the education ministry, the schools, parents, and our students. And so we are very pleased that as a country we have attained universal primary education. In fact, that is Millennium Goal number 2. As you would know, the world set these goals that they wanted to achieve, and in planning this wasn't done in a vacuum. They decided as a world that if the world met these goals, reached these targets, then it means we were at a good place in the entire world. Goal number 2 is universal primary education, and that means that everywhere children who are of the primary age should be able to access the primary school. And I'm very pleased to tell you that Guyana has attained that goal. So in Guyana, every child who is of a primary age cohort, who is in the primary age cohort, could go to a primary school. And that is a huge accomplishment. And that is why you see from all over the country children in the Queen's College uniform and the Bishop's uniform. And I'm very pleased to say that because we have treated all our regions equally in terms of resources, you will see some children sitting here, this top 1%, who are not in the Queen's College uniform and who are not in the Bishop's High uniform. They're wearing uniforms from their regions, Region 2, Region 6, Region 10. You'll see that here this morning, and the reason parents can do that confidently is because Anna Regina gets the same resources that Queen's College gets. Same textbooks, same attention. Same, Linden, the high schools get the same attention that Bishop's High School gets. Berbice, New Amsterdam High, Berbice High, all the high schools, you get the same textbooks, you get the same number of teachers. We don't train our teachers who are teaching at Queen's College at a different college. They're all trained at CPC. And so this is also a telling sign that I want to bring forcefully to your attention. The fact that you will see children here and wonder, I don't recognize that uniform. And that is because they're coming from far-flung regions, where they've stayed in those regions to do their high school education. As you saw, we celebrated Anna Regina recently, where a student topped the country and quite possibly the Caribbean with 20 passes at CXC. And the person who came second was a student from Anna Regina. And 21 of the students in that cohort got more than 11 grade 1s. So it's not all by, this is a one-off, this was one bright child they had. The entire school was doing well. 94 of their children matriculated. That is better than some of the schools in Georgetown. And so we that visible signs, tangible signs, that Guyana is doing much, much better in this education business. But we would tell you also that we have work to do. And so while we have every child, most children, where parents would send them to school sitting in the classroom, we have to improve the quality that we deliver in primary school. While we have the government giving resources to all the regions equally, we have to make sure the quality in those regions, the quality of teaching in the classroom, the quality of education we deliver is strengthened and is of a higher nature. This is not something Guyana alone suffers with or struggles with. This is something the entire world is now talking about. We've got the kids in the classroom, now let's talk about quality. So I say all of that to say, while we can celebrate and justifiably so, we still have work to do, and we need all of you on board the work that we had to do. Two parents left what they were doing and met me just now at the door. I call that a brackle. They brackled me at the door to tell me about some of the issues they wanted me to address at Queen's College. And of course, we will be looking at those issues just now, shortly. So we know we have work to do, and we need you to do it. We need you to help us do it. This, and I want to speak specifically to the students this morning for a very short time. This is the beginning of a great life for you. And you're doing it at a time in Guyana when it's exciting to be alive. I'm happy that I'm this age, but I would be happy if I were yours too, because we have great opportunities now that people would not have had before. And so you get to be an actor, not in Guyana, not as a leader in Guyana. You have opportunities now where you can be a world leader. That's what we're preparing you for. We're preparing you to be a leader in this world. And the world is a global village. It's a small place these days. And so you have to think bigger. You don't want to be president of Guyana alone. You want to do things that will change the world. You want to be able to come up with inventions that will see people in China and India benefiting from those. You want to think of ways that you can make a difference in the lives of people not only here in your beloved land, but all over in all the corners of the world, particularly those populations that are underprivileged. We're giving you tools this morning that would allow you to do incredible research and would allow you to know in your heart how very small this world is, and allow you to appreciate that you can make changes not only to your little village, your little community, your little home, but to the entire world. But you would have to resolve to be disciplined. You have to resolve to be good children. You have to resolve to be good students. You cannot be walking into the theater guild at 10 o'clock when we ask you to be seated at 9:15. That's not a good student. You're not going to be able to change the world if you turn up late. You have to turn up and you have to turn up on time. And to the parents who brought your children late, let today be the last day that you ever take them somewhere late. We need you to be focused. We need you, even as you are having fun, to pay attention to the lessons you have, to pay attention to what you're good at, and to perfect that. So somebody may be good at mathematics, another may be good at music. Whatever you're good at, find that, perfect it, and be the leaders we know you have the capacity to be. I thank you all, and God bless. Warmest congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Minister, for those incisive remarks. Those remarks caused us to reflect on our own lives as students, parents, and as educators. We have another group of students, this time from the North Rheinfeldt Secondary School, and they too will form part of this team, transforming the lives in the classroom, but this time they're doing it by music. They played 2 songs for us, Let Us Cooperate and To Serve My Country. Let's welcome the North Rheinfeldt Secondary School students. Now is the high point of today's activity, the big moment, the moment you're waiting for. I didn't mean getting the computers. Our president will speak to us. He will bring remarks. Could you help us to welcome the president?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Minister Malik Chan, Permanent Secretary, and I wouldn't take the chance that you did call me, but I will just say to all the officials of the Ministry of Education, parents, students, media. It is indeed for me a particular pleasure this morning to be with you, to share this moment with you. And as was mentioned just now, we had committed ourselves to give the top 1% of the students that pass their examination to ensure that they have a laptop computer. And that is because we want to ensure that you do not flounder along the way. You know, in the race of life, and I can tell you from my own family. You know, I come from a very large family. We were 9 of us. And I always used to remember this proverb, was it in school or the saying, the race is not for the swiftest, but he who endureth to the end. And I want to help you to endure to the end, because as your minister said just now, in many ways, while it was a closing of one part of your life, finishing the schools and the exams that you passed, it is the beginning of another stage, and it's still a long, long way to go. And in the world that you're growing up in, you're going to be challenged by many things. You are going to be challenged. You will need to be successful in the world of today and even more so tomorrow, to be multi-skilled and multidisciplined. And we want you to be able to use the most and to be competent in using the most modern tools in the world. And the Madam Chairperson mentioned just now, we want you to serve Guyana. But that don't mean that that we want you also not to take advantage of what the rest of the world has to offer. But this new technology nowadays gives us the possibility to stay in our homes, whether we live at the top of Paramakatoi, or we live at Charity, or Georgetown, or New Amsterdam, or anywhere in the country, that you can be here and work in any part of the world because of the new tools that we have, and the development in science and technology, particularly information and telecommunication technology. It offers us also possibility to deliver education to people in remote areas, so that we are right now working with the University of Guyana to begin to put courses and degree courses online. So many people, not only students, but other people who probably for one reason or the other missed out on the opportunity when they were young, and or didn't have the opportunity because maybe it didn't exist, now can have an opportunity to catch up and to be able to compete with the young and the brilliant that we see here today. We want to ensure that we have all of that possibility. And education also offers us another very important thing. In our society and in any multi-ethnic, multicultural society like ours, we need to ensure that we have equal opportunity for everyone. And I have said a few days ago that I don't know of a better way of providing equal opportunity for everyone than providing equal quality of education for every single one in our country. Because once you have that, then you can take the opportunities as they come, and you can be able to manage for yourselves. You know the old saying, already it has been proven that to get countries out of poverty, that education must play a very important role. And that goes back to the saying that if you want to help a hungry person, don't give them a fish, because most likely they will go and eat it out and come back and ask you for another one. So what you give them is a hook and teach them to fish. And then they will be able to fend for themselves, and at the same time they will be able to help others. And that is what I see education as. in the fight against poverty, in the fight against inequality, and in the struggle against all the injustices that we sometimes have to come to confront. I see education as that hook that can take us out of poverty and take us to the higher levels that I dream about that our country can go to. And when I look at all these young, bright faces in front of me, my confidence is once more strengthened that we can be a developed country in a not too distant future with your help. And more so, today, I want to equip you. So I said that you must not flounder, and you must go on to higher and higher levels in whatever field that you choose to do so in. And you must persevere and do not be distracted. A lot of distractions are out there today. Many distractions with drugs, with other antisocial things. But I want you to be able not to be tempted by those things. And to remember, it probably sounds boring when people like me or your teachers or your parents tell you that honesty is the best policy, that moving ahead and taking your time now to study is the right thing to do, that prepare yourselves for the future now. The future beckons you. But I just don't want you to be good in whatever profession you choose and whatever direction life takes you. I want also that you must always have a social conscience and always remember to help those who are in need, to be able to do things for others so that all of us, as the old Chinese proverb says, the tide should lift all of our boats. And as we develop in our economy, let we take the economy to be the tide. Let that tide raise all the boats in our country and none will be left grounded on the shore. So today, this first step that you're taking, this new tool, all that we're giving you, is one of the most modern tools in the world today that can help you in your research, that can help you with communications, that can put you in contact with some of the most important knowledge in the world today. It can put you in contact with other things too. I'm sure many of you probably know that already. But I want you to resist that temptation and concentrate on the good things that the internet and the other areas of learning will have for you. I am convinced once more, and I am re-energized to continue to work with you to ensure that with all of us working together, young, not so young like myself, and older, that we can all together work to make our country a better place. And all of you can stay here, make a contribution, and make a contribution to our Caribbean region, and make a contribution to the world. And also to ensure that more and more of our students will do extremely well. I want to echo in closing, the Minister mentioned just now we still have a lot of work to do, and I agree with that. We do have a lot more to do. We do have to improve our passes at mathematics, at English, and the sciences, in technology. We have to do that. But we should also take inspiration from where we've come from. If our mathematics pass is still 36%, it is a big leap forward when only a few students could have written the exam just 2 decades ago. when most of the students leaving primary schools had to fail their common entrance examination because there was no place in secondary school for them. And if you have the same percentage with more than double or triple the amount of children writing the exam nowadays, to me, it's still good progress, but we must not be satisfied with that, and we must take it to even higher levels. Once more, congratulations to all of you students. Congratulations to the parents, their guardians, those of you who work with your children, sat night by night, night after night with them to see that they do their homework, to do their studies, and now they are having their first reward. And also to stay with those who are not here today, but those two who I'm sure, many of whom, most of whom, will do well if they concentrate on their education and develop and make a better life for themselves, and in the process, a better life for Guyana and a better world that we live in. Thank you for your attention.
On another road, he took us into the realm of television. We always watch Oprah live class. You did that today. You gave us insights into good parenting, how to be a good educator, and how to be a good student. And with you as our leader, I'm sure that we'll go places in education. Thank you very much. I want to invite you once more to the stage, this time to do a symbolic handing over of some of the computers. But first, let me invite Mr. Hudson, our Assistant Chief Education Primary, to call the names of those students. Mr. Hudson.
Salma Majid. Lavindra Prasad. Ashmi Natasha Dio. Brandon Chanderban. Zain Ramutar. Ashana Inda. Abdur Rahman Sattar. Divya Jagru. Daniel Baldio Thorne. Renee Bisnoff. Maitri Patada. Sean Bajan. Janelle Delay. Artie Hublal. Kirsten Caesar. Devindra Raghubansi. Amos Sawan.